Baseball tonight at 20th and Blake. The Rockies and Cardinals getting ready to go. Of course, the Rockies swept the Cardinals 4 straight back in June. That really got the Rockies on a roll. Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday. Could you ask for 2 better guys in the middle of the lineup?
No, I don't think you could. And of course, Holliday has really flourished since he's gone over to the Cardinals. This kid's put up huge numbers because he has protection inside of that lineup. That's a big thing. 55 games, 356 average, 13 home runs. But the key to me, since he's came over to their ball club, they have the best record in Major League Baseball since July 24th. Albert Pujols, every year you're going to see these type of numbers out of this guy. 330, 47, 129. They have a lot of celebrations at home plate. They have a lot of high fives. This is a club not built on a lot of speed. The most stolen bases by a player, 14. Oh yeah, that's by Pujols and Holliday too. But they are sluggers, and that's what they've got throughout their lineup.
And don't forget, they still have a guy like Ludwig, a guy like DeRosa further down the lineup. They are a very formidable offensive club, but the centerpieces in the middle will be Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday. Well, the Rockies swept the Cardinals, outscored them 33-9 last meeting. That would work well this weekend. Come on back. By E470 and Express Toll, the best way to save time and money. By Quest Business, get Quest, get nimble. And by your local Red Wing shoe store, where fit comes first. Fireworks after the ball game tonight, and it's great to see Aaron Cook back on the mound for Colorado. It has been a little more than a month since his last appearance, August 21st against the Giants, when he summoned the trainers and the manager out to the hill. He felt a strain in his right shoulder. Tony La Russa, 14th season as the Cardinals manager, 1,230 victories. He's one of the all-time greats. Skip Schumacher will lead it off for him. Brendan Ryan, their outstanding young shortstop, will be in the 2-hole. Then Pujols hitting .330, that's second in the league to Ramirez, Hanley Ramirez. Matt Holliday hitting .356 since his return to the National League over a 2-month period. Colby Rasmus, Ryan Ludwig, Mark DeRosa came from Cleveland recently. Yadier Molina, one of the top catchers in the game. And Chris Carpenter, as we check the Fidelity scouting report on Aaron Cook.
Well, 88-93, heavy sink. Don't know you'll see the velocity that high tonight since his first start back out on the mound. Can act an awful lot like a cutter when he works around it. At 85, the one pitch he's worked on very much so, down in the bullpens and in the ball games against the Rockies, has been the changeup. The only other thing I worry about with him tonight is the fact that he probably is going to be a little bit overamped. So you may see some balls up early in the strike zone just from Aaron Cook because of the excitement of being back on the mound again.
Hard ground ball and a base hit to the left side. So Skip Schumacher got a fastball up above the belt and he hit it hard. So a leadoff single. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. We have good news for you. Carlos Gonzalez down the last couple of days in terms of playing defense with a mild hamstring. Is back out there with Fowler and Hop, Stewart, Tulowitzki, Barmes, and Helton. Torrealba is behind the plate. Brendan Ryan out of the 2-hole has handled himself well, hitting .289. Al McRae very pleased with what he has done offensively. McRae, of course, the longtime hitting coach for the Cardinals.
He's one of the guys in the lineup Tony La Russa will hit and run with. He will do it early in a ball game.
Runner going. There's the hit and run. And Stewart will go to first.
Well, on August the 22nd, Aaron Cook was on the mound, and it was not a good sight to see as far as Rocky fans concerned. That ball bounced very short of home plate. He had to wave over to the dugout to get Keith Duggar out there. Obviously felt the discomfort, came out of the ball game. That was the smart thing to do, was just get off the mound. And then here he is back in a recovery time. Albert Pujols will come to the plate now to face Aaron Cook.
You know, the Rockies, in sweeping the Cardinals, it was an improbable sweep at the time. It's an improbable sweep really at any time, no matter how good your club is going in. But the Rockies obviously hadn't been playing very good baseball. Well, one of the keys to their success in St. Louis, and there were many, they pitched wonderful baseball at Busch Stadium. Albert Pujols was 1 for 14 in that series.
Yeah, I'd like to match that up against any other series he's been in this year.
I bet in his career, there's only one other series in his career where he had more than 10 at-bats that was worse than that. He went 0 for 12 one particular series. And it's 2-0 on Pujols. The one hit he did have was a home run.
That's something else you don't see him do very often, the 3 strikeouts. He's pretty much a contact guy every time he goes to the plate.
And he's ridiculously gifted. You know, to support your point, George, he has struck out this year just 61 times. He has 47 home runs. He's got a 2-0 pitch here, and that's in there for a strike. Crowd still filing in. This ball game an hour earlier than most Friday night ball games at Coors Field. That's because of the fireworks to follow. There's Holiday on deck. Schumacher's at second, just underway at Coors Field. And he missed on the outside corner, so it's 3-1.
Now you notice too that what Robert Torrealba did there, he moved very late to the outside corner. The reason behind that, it is known throughout baseball. Pujols is a guy that likes to know location. Well, when you have a hitter out at second base, it's easy to say inside, outside, whether it's left hand on the knee, on the left knee for inside, right knee. Look at the hat at second base.
Velocity on the fastball, George, early on, and that's not really important to Aaron Cook. It's been 92.
Yeah, more about location than anything, and down in the strike zone. That's when he utilizes the hard sinker down in the strike zone.
Three and 2 on Pujols. Outfield straight up, but naturally pretty deep. So I think, George, that swing there was more of a miss by Pujols than great movement. That ball was up.
Well, it was up a little bit, but it had some late sink to it. See, to me, what it said to me is that Albert thought the ball was going to be inside and down, not away from him. See, watch this. See how Torrealba was over here. He moved to the outside corner, and then he got him to reach out for the ball. I think he's just anticipating a hard sinker in, and he just protected the pitch down and away from him. Just a head turn can tell you a lot of things as a hitter looking back.
Ground ball to second. Barmes is there. Pujols retired. Schumacher to third.
And that's one of the things.
It'll be interesting, real quick, George, to hear what kind of reception Matt Holliday gets. Mostly cheers, and it should be that way. Matt Holliday was a great player in a Rockies uniform, and sometimes the business of baseball means you move on. But Matt Holliday, an instrumental part of the Rockies' great success in 2007. And you know that there are a few more butterflies cooking in his stomach tonight in his first at bat in a visiting uniform.
That 4 for 10 that he had against the Rockies when he was in an Oakland uniform this year, 3 of those 4 hits doubles.
And of course, those ball games took place in Oakland. 1-0 on Holliday, hitting .356 with the Cardinals. 2-0 as he faces his good friend Aaron Cook.
Right, about 2 weeks ago, Holliday hit a little bump in the road. He started to chase some pitches out of the strike zone. He started to try to create offense instead of letting the offense come to him. And from what people tell me in St. Louis, he's righted that ship and has swung the bat well of late.
Got a pitch to hit out over the plate. It's 2-1. Holliday went to the Cardinals on July 24th. Since that time, St. Louis is 19 games over 500. They've run away with the NL Central. Torrealba sets up away, and it's a hard ground ball to first. Helton has it, and Aaron Cook works out of a first inning jam as he gets both Pujols and Holliday to hit it on the ground. Insider.com. Check out the Douglas County Water Pickup. Pick a team to win. See how long your streak can go. Jim Tracy's club fell 5-4 last night to the Padres. They had a 3-0 early lead on a Tulowitzki 3-run shot. Couldn't make it stand up. Carlos Gonzalez back in there atop the lineup. Then Fowler, Helton, Tulowitzki, Hop, Torrealba. Ian Stewart, big numbers against St. Louis earlier this year. Barmes is swinging the bat very well. And then Aaron Cook. So here we go. Chris Carpenter at 16-4. Fires the fastball over for a strike. 34-year-old.
A lot of numbers to look at. He's first in earned run average, 234. Winning percentage, 80. 16 wins. Second in the league to a teammate Adam Wainwright, who has 18. Carpenter was on the shelf for a little while this year, so that's probably the reason the innings are down for him. He's only thrown 180 innings over that 16-4 record. 148 hits, so he's only walked 34 batters. He's had very good numbers against the Rockies.
This ball is blooped to left field. Stay fair, it will. Gonzalez, even with the bad wheels, can end up at second with a double. And you can tell how he's running, George. He's nursing that leg.
Well, he has to. And the last thing you need to do is stretch it out farther than he can. He can go, but running-wise, it's about 80%. I think that's the main reason he's in left field, not in center field in this ball game. Well, look at this swing. Fought a pitch off on the inside part of the plate. And here's the jog around at first base. When the ball dropped in, he's able to pick it up just a little bit, put that grimace on his face, be able to get in.
You just don't want that tightness to become a strain and then have to sit him down for any period of time. After all, there's 9 ball games left. Dexter Fowler at the plate. Mark DeRosa, the third baseman, is only about 60 feet away. And there's the bunt in the direction of DeRosa. Good job by Dexter Fowler. You got to make every opportunity count against Chris Carpenter, George.
Absolutely you do. And he got a first pitch fastball to bunt. He took advantage of it at 92 miles an hour. Here's his fastball, 89-94. He'll sink, he'll cut. Curveball to both sides of the plate. That's really his out pitch, the hard slider. He'll put it into almost a cutter mode at times. And he'll run it in on those left-handed hands. The changeup 78-83. The guy's a Cy Young Award winner. He knows how to pitch.
He's overcome shoulder surgery and 2 years ago, Tommy John surgery. Helton takes a ball on the breaking pitch. 1-0 on Todd. 14 home runs, 80 driven in. He's 4th in the league and hitting at .318. Infield bat.
Got to watch out for Molina. 7 pickoffs this year. He's
33 in his career.
Not afraid to throw behind runners at any base.
He reached back for a little something extra. 93-mile-an-hour fastball in the kitchen of Helton. It's 2-1. Todd 3 for 11 in his matchups with Chris Carpenter. Now with the most at bats is Jason Giambi. He's 5 for 19 with a home run against Carpenter. Runner at third, 1 out. 3-1. You've got 2 guys, George, with tremendous baseball IQ facing each other. Tulowitzki's on deck. Carpenter trying not to give in to help. Figuring the worst thing that happens, I set up a double play opportunity. And a shot to center field. Erasmus will get there. And here comes Gonzalez, and the Rockies break on top. Tremendous at bat for Helton. And the Rockies strike first against a guy who rarely gives up many runs.
Talking about a record of 8-2 out on the road and a .221 earned run average. Gonzalez with the lead double, then the bunt, sacrifice, play low. You're not going to get a lot of runs off of him. Helton trying to make solid contact. He did just that on a fastball up.
Road ERA, 2nd in the league at .221. Here's Tulowitzki, who joined an elite club last night with that 3-run home run in the first. Over the scoreboard and right, it was his 30th home run of the year. 21st shortstop since 1974 to hit 30 home runs in a season. And a bouncing ball to second. Schumacher, the converted outfielder, throws out Tulowitzki. But a productive first inning for the Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez, the leadoff double, comes around. 1-0. Picture right there. 1-0 Colorado's a pretty picture as well. Let's send it down now to Alana Rizzo with tonight's Mike Shaw Auto Update. Alana.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. I had a chance to talk to Rockies pitching coach Bob Apodaca about getting Aaron Cook back in the rotation. You might remember that we weren't even sure if he was going to be able to pitch again in the regular season. He said it's a tremendous boost to this rotation because the guys feed off each other, especially the starting pitchers in terms of having good outings back to back. He said, you know what, with Aaron Cook, we're going to know early. He's definitely physically ready, but is he major league game ready? He said, we need to make sure that he has his fastball command. They want plain on his fastball. The sinker has to be working. As you guys mentioned earlier in the open, there's not going to be much of a long pitch count, a 70 to 80 pitch count for Aaron Cook. Bob Apodaca said it's all about quality, not quantity. And Jim Tracy said earlier when I said, how closely will you monitor him? They said, well, you know what, as long as he's continuing to get hitters out, we'll keep him in the game, guys.
All right, Alana, this start is of dual importance to Aaron Cook. First and foremost, from a team perspective, people know the situation. The Rockies have a 3.5 game lead in the wild card. Atlanta is leading in Washington 2-0 right now. They play 7 of their final 10 against the Nationals, the worst team in baseball this year. So the Rockies need victories. This ball is fouled off. And the other part of the equation, personally for Aaron Cook and also from a club perspective, George, he gets a start tonight. If he pitches decently, he gets another start. It impacts what you do if you make the postseason.
Well, absolutely does, because he's a veteran guy. I mean, this was your #1 pitcher coming out of spring training, and the injuries caused him to scuffle a little bit. Now coming back from that injury, I always go back to 07 when he had about 6 weeks off and came back and pitched Game 4 of the World Series. He got beat, but he pitched well.
One and two on the rookie Colby Rasmus. Looked like a four-seamer, George.
Well, at 92, I mean, he's going to try to elevate the fastball up and away from him. And like a lot of left-handers, we saw it last night, the Rockies had some success going up on lefties. But if you take it right out here in this area, you got a shot at it. So you just got to be careful where you put that pitch. Pretty long at bat for this youngster. He's battling Cook pretty well.
One of their top prospects entering the 2009 season. He's moved in front of Rick Ankiel. That outfield became crowded with the addition of Matt Holliday in late July. Here's the 2-2 again.
And anytime you come back from the shoulder side of things, you're going to throw to where it's comfortable. So a lot of times you won't see the good extension way out front, maybe on a slider or a changeup, and the ball will stay up in the strike zone at times until you get that reassurance that it's not going to hurt when you get out there. He got out there on that. That was a hard sinker at 91.
Now this next pitch will be the 10th of the at-bat. It took him 14 pitches to get through the first inning. And Rasmus has been up there almost as long. Lefty's hitting .292 this year against Cook. Righty's hitting .293. Aaron, of course, a contact pitcher. Doesn't get many strikeouts. Ball's in play. And he's running full. Ryan Ludwig is on deck.
Tell you what, this kid's really battling. Some nasty pitches that he's making contact with, just putting into foul territory.
Throw a 10 up there, huh? Been out there a while. Cardinals were off yesterday, resting in Denver. They last played on Wednesday in Houston, was shut out 3-0. They won the first 2 ball games of that Houston series.
You know, it's kind of when you're a pitcher and all this is going on, this is where you kind of go, you know what, I give, okay, just hit it at somebody. Just put it in play.
Well, Aaron's trying to do that. That's his MO.
Yeah, let's go. Put the ball in play and hit it right at somebody. 13th pitch at bat. This 13th pitch coming in this at bat right now.
23-year-old Colby Rasmus. And this ball is lifted to left center field. Easy play for Gonzalez.
He did all that for that. Could have done that on the second and third pitch.
Yeah, it would have been much nicer. 13 pitch at bat for Rasmus. And Ryan Ludwig coming up. Ludwig really emerged last year, kind of a late bloomer. He's had another good year this year. Sharply hit to Tulowitzki, says, no problem, I got it.
He's finally healthy. That's the reason from a year ago where those numbers popped up a year ago and carried over to this year. And, you know, they talk about the pickup of Matt Holliday. The pickup of DeRosa was pretty good for the Cardinals, too.
That was the move that came first, and I'm sure a lot of Cardinal fans were wondering, would the organization do anything more? I mean, they were already a pretty solid club. Carpenter had reemerged as a staff ace along with Wainwright. Pinheiro, under Dave Duncan's tutelage, throwing the ball like he did several years back in Seattle. And then, of course, on July 24th, the Cardinals got their #1 wish, the acquisition of Matt Holliday, and it had been rumored back in the early part of the spring. John Smoltz, of course, coming aboard. But Holliday had always put up huge numbers in St. Louis. I think most people believed that his time in Oakland was going to be short-lived, that Billy Beane would spin him somewhere else. Every Cardinal fan had their hand raised high in the air. Go get Holliday. And you know, all the great numbers he put up in a Rockies uniform at the New Busch Stadium, George, he has duplicated and then some wearing the hometown uniform.
Well, he just wore out the baseball, hit over 350 in a Cardinal uniform at home. Here's the Oakland versus St. Louis numbers. Amazingly, had a little more RBIs, more games, obviously. But look at it, 55 games, 50 RBIs, and 13 home runs there with the St. Louis Cardinals. Made all the difference in the world. Slow roller.
That's a fair ball. And safe at first. DeRosa gets a leg hit.
Well, it's nice. The next guy coming to the plate, Yadier Molina. I heard a scout tell me today, 2 or 3 scouts tell me, you know what? He's just slowed his heart rate down when he's at the plate. Tough play for Stewart. Going to circle it, try to get behind it, and throw show off the strong arm. DeRosa still runs well. See it on the Hyundai cam here. The scoop by Todd Helton out front. Does beat it by about a foot and a half. Talked about Molina, and they just said, great guy to hit and run with. He runs a whole lot better than his brother. And he's a guy that they just said he's staying so well inside the baseball. There's not any one set way you can pitch it.
High fly ball down the right field line. It's going to drift into the seats. Well, Yadier has 9 stolen bases. George, if you took second base
I'm not going to be a part of this. Not going to be a part of this.
45 feet, Benji couldn't steal second. Benji can hit and he can catch. He can't run. Don't be complimentary. I'm just being honest.
No, he can't run. He knows that.
No, he's a tremendous player.
Yep.
He just can't run. Yadier's caught more innings than any other big league catcher this year. Here's the 0-1.
What's amazing, well, how much fun would it be if you got to sit back there and catch Carpenter, Wainwright, and Pinheiro, and then the bullpen? I think it'd be a little bit of fun for everybody. I mean, you want to work a game when they're out there.
Mitch flashes sign, put up the target. They're going to hit it with some nasty movement to boot. 0-2. And an easy ground ball to Barnes. He'll go to his partner, Tulowitzki. Solid inning for Aaron Cook in the second. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead.
Rockies with the only run in the ball game so far. And let's take a look at Bert's automotive keys to this ball game. The bounce back, and you're going to have to do it tonight, and I think there's a guy that's going to be a part of it. Brad Hopp, and of course Pujols, Holiday. You got to be able to handle these guys and handle them well. Still on top of this thing. Hey, you got a 3-game lead. Last time I checked, 3-game lead. You're still on top, and Jim Tracy preaching an awful lot about that.
Well, actually, 3.5-game lead. Those half games count.
Absolutely, they do.
First pitch misses to Brad Hopp, 3 for 10 against Carpenter in his career. Carpenter has pitched only one time at Coors Field. That came in back in 2006. In fact, Carpenter hasn't pitched against the Rockies since 2006.
He was pretty good against them here that night, too. To a shutout over 7 innings.
It was a 1-0 final favoring the Cardinals, which at the time was only the third 1-0 game in Coors Field history. The opposing pitcher that day, Jason Jennings. 2-2. Carpenter's 11-1 with a 2.27 ERA in his last 15 starts. And consider this, the one game he lost was 2 starts ago against Atlanta, and he got hammered, strike 3. In that game against the Braves, he went 6 innings, gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. That's his only loss in his last 15 starts, and the ERA is minuscule at 2.27. Take that out of there, and he's got an ERA in the 1s. One out, Torey Alba will hit. Right-handers hitting just 209 against Carpenter this year. Lefties at 247, and that's smoked up the middle. Has he worn out the baseball the last month?
Well, I know this much. You better not leave something out over the plate for him as you look at the Cardinal defense for this game.
Holiday, Rasmus, and Ryan Ludwig in the outfield. DeRosa and Brendan Ryan on the left side. Skip Schumacher and Albert Pujols on the right side. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Yadier Molina as good as it gets defensively. Albert Pujols owns a Gold Glove. Of course, Matt Holliday steadily, but much better as an outfielder in his time in Colorado. DeRosa at third plays a lot of spots. Brendan Ryan, they just rave about defensively as well. That's high on Stewart, who hit his 25th home run last night. Yeah, Jim Tracy's been saying it for a few weeks now. I'd love to see Hopp and Stewart start cooking again. And the days are dwindling. The beauty of guys like Ian Stewart and Brad Hopp, if they do get hot, they can really tilt things in your favor. They're that gifted offensively. One and two. Pujols right now playing behind Torey Albert. You can do that. Yorvic's not a bad runner. He's an average runner. But you can do that when you have Carpenter, who's quick to the plate, and Molina, who throws as well as anybody in the game.
Left-handed hitter up with power, too. You're going to play behind him. That's some Tony La Russa does this a lot. You have a guy that's got average or below average speed on base. Regardless of that, you're going to stay behind it. Now, what holds him tight? One simple reason. It's the ability that Molina has to pick guys off. I mentioned earlier back in the first inning, he has 7 pickoffs this year, 33 in his career.
Three and two on Stewart. That's where Tony La Russa has always been, George, one of the deep thinkers in the game. Looks at the percentages and he says, you know what, I'm going to help my defender out a couple of steps of range, have him play behind. The likelihood with the great catcher that I have of an average runner taken off is minimal. There he goes on the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled off at the plate. Jim Tracy putting him in motion to try to stay out of a double play. Jim Tracy and Tony La Russa are friends. Great respect for one another. In fact, after the Rockies had concluded batting practice, Tracy spent probably next 8-10 minutes talking to Tony La Russa as he was hitting fungos as the Cardinals were batting. And now they're going to hold on Torrealba.
3-2 count, running situation.
He's still going, and this ball is a bullet to center field. Torrealba will still have to stop as Rasmus came up with the baseball. So Ian Stewart, the home run late in the ball game last night, and a 3-2 pitch from Carpenter, he squared up.
Yeah, he did, sure did. This is twice in a row that Carpenter's taken a pitch to left-handers. Todd Helton hit the deep fly ball to center field. Stewart's going to be able to take this base hit and drive it right back up the middle. Both of those fastballs up in the strike zone.
Now, Clint Barmas has been among the hottest Rockies hitters the last 4 ball games. And this is to third. Tough hop. DeRosa comes up with it. Double play. 5-4-3. They spin it around the infield. So the Rockies had a couple of hits. Nothing else to show for it. 1-0. They lead as we go to the third. Visit ColoradoWheelsOnline.com or pick up a magazine at over 200 locations. And by the great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. Shot of Elitch's overlooking the Platte River. Rockies off to a 1-0 start against the Cardinals. First of 3 against St. Louis. Chris Carpenter will lead it off for the Cards in the top of the third. Aaron Cook worked out of a small issue in the first inning. Got Pujols and Holiday to ground out with a runner in scoring position. And now Carpenter, who's a good athlete, takes strike 1. We welcome to the booth George Gwozdecki, an old friend who, of course, the head coach of the DU Pioneers in hockey. And there are some polls out there, George. I wanted to be the first to tell you this. There's some polls out there that have the Pioneers the #1 team preseason in the country. Are you aware of that?
First of all, it's great to be back with the #1 broadcasting crew in the country.
Oh, I love this. I love
this. Annual
this.
visit, and it's great to be back. But yeah, it's we welcome the attention. Obviously, it really means not a whole lot, as everybody knows, but I think the capability of this group of guys is there. Obviously, a lot of people recognize it. We were very fortunate to be able to have a lot of people who we weren't sure going to come back, did come back. A lot of kids. In fact, tonight is the big camp out night over at DU, because tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. the student season tickets go on sale. So there's going to be hundreds of people.
I love that. I love that.
Camping out. So, and we're going to be there as a team tomorrow morning to pass out donuts. So, there's a lot of excitement on campus, obviously, around the hockey team.
The punch out of Chris Carpenter, first out of the inning. You know, I'm kidding you. I saw you at a function on Monday night, and I said, how are you going to be in like most coaches, you usually downplay things, but you think this team has a chance to be very special.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think that with the year of experience, so many of these inexperienced players got last year. With the incoming freshman class that's multi-talented, I think this group has great capability. Obviously, the one thing you have to, and that you can't really control, is the injury factor. I mean, we just lost a week ago. We lost Dustin Jackson to a season-ending injury just in light skill development session where he goes plowing the boards, fractures his fingers, out for the year. So those things you hope are done.
Skip Schumacher takes a strike.
Well, it helps to recruit when you look in the papers. You go, hey, did you guys see we were #1? You want to come join us? It's a pretty good thing to have.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. The more attention you can have, the more positive attention you can have, it's going to help recruiting. It's going to help the fan base, the season ticket base, everything.
Coach, you have Vermont comes to town, and you have a special weekend plan. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
It's the 60th reunion, 60th year of Pioneer hockey, and one of our former players has put together this huge reunion. Rod Summers, one of our great former players, is coordinated this big 60th reunion of Pioneer hockey, and we have hundreds of our former players coming back. It's going to be a great weekend. We have the University of Vermont. We're playing Friday and Saturday, October 9th and 10th, the big Pioneer reunion weekend, and it should be one great event.
And we have 19 Pioneer hockey games coming your way right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. Of course, I'd get in trouble if I didn't mention that.
And 4 of them are with Colorado College, which I know those are our big rival, and so to be able to have those games on are going to be very, very good.
And here's a look at the schedule a little bit. The 60th anniversary DU hockey get together will be with Vermont on October the 9th. That will be a blast. Minnesota is on the road, but we'll have that game for you. This is chopped foul by Brendan Ryan. 1 ball, 1 strike. And let's look at page 2 of the DU Pioneer schedule on FSN. It includes the matchups, the home and away in December with CC, Wells Fargo Denver Cup, which we always have. Who's coming in for the Denver Cup this year?
We have Boston College, University of Nebraska Omaha, and St. Lawrence University. And I've got, you know what, I got to put a shout out to Alana. I mean, your crew, that when you televise us and broadcast us, whether it's home on the road, do a great job. But Alana's right, you know, she's under the gun, under the fire, and she's experienced some things that no professional should have to experience when we go on the road to North Dakota or whatever. But she's done a great job for us, and I just want to give her a little shout out.
You know what? Alana does a great job. She's down. Yeah, she's working the ballpark right now. And there she's waving at us. There she is, right behind the dugout.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. Looking forward to another season.
Absolutely.
North Dakota, you know, you talk about for George when he played going into Philly wasn't fun. Not fun for a visitor in North Dakota, is it?
Well, you know what? Maybe Philly's a pretty good example, pretty good analogy. I mean, they love their hockey. It's the only show in town during the winter months, and you know, you can't get a hotel room within 45 miles when the Sioux are fighting Sioux are playing at home, and there's no question it's a very, very difficult venue to play in, not only for the visiting team but for the officials as well.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
They ought to put in an outdoor rink. That's what amazed me. I played for the Twins.
Yep.
And we go out in the wintertime and do ticket sales and stuff to drum it up. We go to North Dakota, South Dakota, and all these places. All the outdoor rinks everywhere. I mean, they're like little league baseball fields.
That's exactly
down
right.
here, you know, when you're looking, they're everywhere.
Yeah, the NHL's had great success with their annual outdoor game. Albert Pujols at the plate after the base hit by Brendan Ryan. You're just joining us. The Rockies got Pujols to ground to second with Schumacher at second in the first inning. Then Matt Holliday hit a ground ball to Todd Helton to end the threat. Could you find a place on a hockey rink for this guy?
Oh, you know, he's such a terrific athlete. Absolutely. We'd have to, you know, teach him how to skate, but other than that,
I don't know. You might just set him kind of off left, right. I don't think he
what?
wants to get in front of the slap shot.
If the puck goes in the corner, I'm betting on him to come out of it once you teach him just a couple of things.
Now you're pointing at George when you're betting on
him? I was pointing on the guy on TV to come out of the corner.
Yeah, I hear you.
If it's got wheels or sleds, I'm out. I'm not good on those things, any of that.
How many games have you gotten out to this year? I know you're a big baseball fan.
You know what? This is my first. I have watched, I don't want to say every single one of the games on television, but I have watched a great majority of them. And so, you know, it's
been a fun summer.
It really has been. I mean, from day one, even with the, the early season struggles of the team, you could see that they had it, and it was, went through that difficult period where Clint left the bench and Jim came in, but it's been really fun, and it's a fun team to watch.
There's a base hit for Pujols, and Ryan's going to go first to third. Careful here, where Pujols didn't move up. So another threat now with 2 outs for St. Louis, and guess who's at the plate?
Just a great hitter. Talking about Albert Pujols, where this pitch is on the outside part of the plate, to start to run back to the middle, committed his front side, yet had the ability to put the bat on it and do it with some authority. Out into right field. Hop's going to have to backhand the baseball. Good speed in Brendan Ryan, but made it close. I was watching Hop before the game today. He was all the way in the left center field on the foul lines, throwing it all the way over to right field. He had a very strong arm, stretched it out today.
Well, in the first matchup, Cook got the better of Holiday, a 2-hopper to Helton. Helton holding on. Pujols naturally. And this is a hard ground ball, gloved by Stewart, and the throw to first is right on the money. How about that play to save a run? Stewart robs Matt Holliday. Pretty good. Wow. Wow. That sums it up. Hey, Coach, we wish you all the best, and thank you as always for coming by.
Well, Drew,
we'll be out to see you.
Thank you very much for having me up again. It's been a
And we welcome you back. Chris Carpenter finished his warm-ups quickly, so he's got a 1-1 count on Aaron Cook. Again, a big thanks to George Gwozdecki, the DU Pioneers. Bouncing ball to Pujols. 1 out. Fans, feed your Rockies fever at Taco Bell. When the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day between 4 and 6. Feed your fever with 4 tacos for $1. Carlos Gonzalez got the Rockies started in the bottom of the first inning. A double to left right down the line. Kind of a dying line drive. He was moved to third on a beautiful bunt by Dexter Fowler, and then Todd Helton hit a line drive to deep center field to bring him around. 1-0 Colorado on a night, George, where runs will be at a premium, you would figure, with this guy on the mound, Chris Carpenter. The Cardinals will throw Adam Wainwright tomorrow, and I think in many people's opinion, it's a battle between the 2 Cardinal teammates for this year's Cy Young, and maybe Lincecum in there. I mean, he was obviously very prominently in there, but the wins have been a little tougher to come by for Lincecum of late. Wainwright tomorrow is an 18-game winner. Here's the 2-1, and it's 3-1. The Rockies, I think, George, got good news because Sunday, Joel Pinheiro, who's had an outstanding year, he's a 15-game winner, was pushed back. He was originally slated to start Sunday. It'll be Kyle Loesch instead. And this is a hard ground ball that's handled by Schumacher. Tomorrow's pitching matchup's a dandy. It's Wainwright against Ubaldo Jimenez. Jorge De La Rosa goes on Sunday against Loesch, who's 6-8 with a 4.81 ERA. 2 gone. Dexter Fowler at the plate.
Well, you know, and the thing about it, with the position the Rockies are in right now, their main concern has to be win this game. I can't look forward to saying, Wainwright, you're going to have trouble with this one, trouble with that one. You've got to be able to go get the one you need.
1-2-3 inning for Carpenter, his first. 1-0 Rockies. First 55 games, St. Louis Cardinals with Matt Holliday went 37-18. First 55 games with Jim Tracy as the skipper, the Rockies went 37-18. Interesting stuff. That's brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now, try the mini Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwiches, 3 mini home-style chicken fillets on toasted mini buns. Colby Rasmus, who pitched a 10 at the plate, his first at bat, steps up to lead off the 4th inning for St. Louis. He eventually, after a 13-pitch at bat, hit a fly ball to Carlos Gonzalez. Aaron Cook has looked pretty good in his return to the mound after missing basically the last 5 weeks. 2-0 Atlanta still against the Nationals. That ball game now in the 8th inning. Giants host the Cubs again. They'll get going in a little while. How about Jeff Baker last night? Stealing a victory from the Giants and Brian Wilson.
Yeah, 0-2 count with a fastball that was up over the head with 2 outs. See you later. How about that?
And he crushed it. Naturally, he received numerous texts after the game from his buddies on the Rockies, talking to Ryan Spilborghs earlier today. A lot of attaboys. The former Rocky helping out his old team with that 2-run home run for the Cubs late last night against San Francisco. Here's Ryan Ludwig. He hit a ground ball to short. He actually was more of a line shot, one hopper. To be fair to Ludwig, that Tulowitzki snared. Rockies made a couple of defensive plays on the left side already tonight, George.
And made some nice plays. Hey, Rockies fans, get your power tickets, and including a midfield box ticket plus $10 in concession, or an outfield box ticket with $15. The Diamond Deal only available at ColoradoRockies.com. Just a few games left to get those and take advantage of them. Aaron Cook doing just what you anticipated him to do in this ball game. Out 8 ground ball outs, just 1 fly ball out, 1 strikeout for Aaron Cook.
Here's the 0-2 on Ludwig. Hard sinker missed. I may have missed it, George, but I haven't seen a changeup yet. Have you?
A couple, but in looking at it right now, the thing that's impressive to me is working into the 5th inning of the 4th inning of this ball game. He's only thrown 17 balls, so he's had the ability to stay in the strike zone, you know, where he hadn't been out of it. And I know that's got to please Jim Tracy, Bob Apodaca, guys that are looking to see how Cook would take this against a very good baseball team in the St. Louis Cardinals.
Threw him a cutter there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good sinker.
One thing that'll show up on a radar gun, and it really doesn't matter with Aaron Cook. He's very successful, 86.93, and the heart of the velocity, less the sink. But what will show up on a radar gun is when the arm or the shoulder starts to get tired. You'll see the velocity start to drop at a rapid pace.
And a pop-up that's going to drift out of play over the Rockies dugout. Well, in the 3 previous starts to the injury, George, his ERA was over 12, and Cook's velocity was way down. In fact, his dad at one point called and said, "Are you throwing a bunch of changeups?" He said, "No, right now that's my fastball."
Well, and part of that was the shoulder, that maybe it was getting tired, didn't want to admit that it hurt. Your team's in the middle of a pennant race, you're winning baseball games. You know, you want to go out and earn your keep on this baseball team, and I think that's where Aaron Cook was. But then when the pain got too bad, he obviously had to make the move. I got to get off the field. I got to get this thing fixed.
Tulowitzki pulls it to his chest, throws out Ryan Ludwig. 2 outs. Mark DeRosa coming up. Let's take a look at our Geico quote of the day from the man with more than 2,500 managerial wins, Tony La Russa. When I first became a manager, I always asked Chuck Tanner for advice. He told me always rent. Well, you know what?
He still rents 14 years later in St. Louis. He still lives out in the Bay Area.
Yeah, he does. But I think if Tony decided to buy in St. Louis, it would be safe.
Tony's a huge dog guy. You know that.
Oh,
raises an awful lot of money.
Absolutely. For
a lot of different venues for the animals, for particularly the dogs.
That's his big cause. The Animal Rescue Foundation is #1 cause. (2-0) on DeRosa, who had an infield hit his first time. (3-0). Beautiful things about the game is you have to play it out. I don't know how many people had the Cardinals winning the Central by 9.5 games. Easy play for Tulowitzki. Another strong inning for Aaron Cook. 3 more ground balls. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. The Rockies with the only run. Trivia question: who are the 4 active National League shortstops to have 30 or more home runs in a season? One of them's on deck. Helton has produced the only run of the game, a sac fly to center field that scored Carlos Gonzalez in the first. RBI number 81 for Todd. 34-year-old Chris Carpenter on the hill at 16-4 this season. The numerous impressive stats you can roll out there by Carpenter. This year he's allowed only 7 home runs. The only pitcher in the National League among starters that have worked a considerable amount that have allowed fewer home runs, his teammate Joel Pinheiro.
Both good hard sinker ball guys. Keep it down. They try to have really short innings. Try to overthrow every pitch he had there. I mean, it's one of the few times you see him without that kind of command. It was bad.
That's the first walk allowed. The leadoff man aboard, Tulowitzki, bounced to second his first time. Tulowitzki had never faced Carpenter before. Actually, Carpenter's last start against the Rockies was 2006. Kid at the plate was in Tulsa, Oklahoma then. Town George Frazier paid cash for.
Yeah. I don't think so. Just happy to let me in there about 30 years ago.
Ball, 1 strike. Tulowitzki has hit .299 this year against right-handed pitching, .265 against lefties.
That's a good matchup because this guy's going to make you work for everything that you have to do. I think this is a confidence builder if you're able to beat a guy like Carpenter.
You hear so often, George, with pitchers of his ilk, that you, as a hitter, get maybe one good pitch to hit in an at-bat, and boy, you better not miss that one.
Well, he's made 2 mistakes in my mind today. One to Helton on the line drive to deep center field, and then the line drive Stewart made. All the pitches are really well up into the zone. I thought everything up. Dave Duncan, the master of the pitching in St. Louis for 14 years, right along with Tony La Russa. Prior to that, he was in Oakland. Former catcher. It is an excellent pitching coach, and what he works on more than anything with the pitchers is all about balance point, for one thing. Very important to him. The other thing that he works on is that the mental side of the game, how to pitch to batters, look for their weaknesses, attack that weakness.
It is interesting. He's generally regarded as the foremost pitching coach in baseball, yet he was a catcher. This ball, bouncing ball through the left side. Now the Rockies have 2 on. And nobody out with Brad Hopp coming up.
Slider outside corner, just didn't have a lot of break to it. Kind of rolled around the side of the baseball. Tulowitzki's going to make him pay for it. He left it out over the plate long enough to get his arms extended. Tulowitzki with that upright stance at the plate was able to go down and get that. And the Rockies with nobody out, runners at first and second.
Hopp struck out looking his first time. That pitch is outside. Great opportunity for the Rockies to add on. Hits are even at 4. Colorado leads it 1-0. And that's on the swing, I'm sure it is. 1-1. Hopp didn't play in last night's ball game. With Clayton Richard, a left-hander, starting for San Diego. Sliced foul, 1-2.
Well, one pitch he's gone to, and he's gone to it pretty strongly here, has been a slider. The curveball, he's only thrown a couple for strikes. I think that's the one thing that's probably disturbed him a little bit, because that could be his out pitch. He'll try to drop it on the back point of home plate, right in between the catcher's legs, inside and out. He hasn't been able to do that.
Atlanta with a 3-1 lead in the 8th inning on Washington. Pittsburgh leading the Dodgers. They're 6 up on the Rockies. Here's the West. That's probably done. The wild card, the Rockies have to hold off Atlanta, Florida, and also San Francisco. Florida and the Mets tied in the 7th inning, 2-2 in Miami. Hopp battling away. Hilton walked. He's at second. Tulowitzki is single at first. And this could be a double play ball. There's 1 and there's 2. And get some traffic. Your sinker is a pitcher's best friend.
What's interesting about that at bat with Hopp, 2 breaking balls, 3 sliders, and then a fastball. He didn't give him anything on the outer half that was slow. Everything was quick.
See if Torrealba can come through with 2 outs. He had a bullet up the middle. Brendan Ryan, I haven't seen this before. Brendan Ryan is 3 steps on the outfield grass. No swing.
Just allowing himself, I guess, apparently to have more range to get to Torrealba. Somebody's told him in scouting reports to play over deep. That's what Drew's talking about. Right out here, it's Brendan Ryan, a shortstop, very deep into that area.
Tell you why it's odd. That's a strike. The infield grass is very slow here. It's that way on purpose. Mark Razum and his crew been requested to make sure it's thick and slow, because the Rockies typically have a ground ball pitcher going. 2-1. Jose Contreras, we were told this may occur, that if you get 5 innings out of Cook, they may back him up with Contreras. quadricep is healthy enough that he can field his position. Outside, 3-1 with Stewart on deck. Aaron Cook. The number was going to be 70 to 80. It was going to be a field thing, and right now he is sitting on 64 pitches. Tell you, for me, Jose Kendall has him lined up, George. Swung over like a pull hitter, and lately Torey Alba's been wearing out the middle of the diamond.
All four. Yeah, that fastball wasn't close there either. 94 miles an hour. That ball's really in.
Now Stewart ripped a single to center against Carpenter in the second inning. He'll come up with 2 outs and runners at first and third.
Now that fastball he got a hold of before earlier, right about the mask eye on Molina. And it was a center cut fastball in the middle of the plate.
Inside, ball 1. Not the split, George. I'm looking at the pitches for Carpenter, who's consistent strike thrower ordinarily. 29 strikes, 27 balls. That's not what you'd normally expect.
No, well, the guy that doesn't walk anybody. Always around the plate. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That caught the inside corner.
Stewart a home run in 5 of his last 8 ball games at Coors Field. As we look at the lack of walks ordinarily, swung on and missed. Strikes him out with a yacker. So the Rockies leave runners at first and third. They have the first 2 men on in the inning. It remains 1-0 as we go to the 5th. Brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Be sure to take a look at the 5-star safety rated all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service, warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Aaron Cook has allowed 4 hits through 4 innings and no runs, most importantly, and he'll face Yadier Molina, Chris Carpenter, and then the top of the order. Sinkers down low, ball 1. Jose Contreras was warming up. He has taken a seat, and now Matt Belisle is up.
Cook's due up second in the inning, so if you get traffic, you run Belisle out, let him finish the inning, and then you can get Contreras back up and let him come in and pitch the 6th inning, or leave Belisle out there. It's kind of your decision what you want to do.
Tulowitzki charges. One out. Time for our great Colorado payback sideline report. Here's Alana again.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. You know, Jim Tracy in the past couple of weeks has talked about how much this season has been a test for the Colorado Rockies. And I talked to Ian Stewart about that earlier today. He said it has been a test, but there's been different tests that we've had to pass. He said the first test was the managerial change at the end of May. He said we passed that test with the success that we've had since Jim Tracy has taken over. Then they were 15 and a half games out of the division behind the Dodgers. That's a test that they've passed in terms of getting themselves into contention. He said now that we're in contention and we're the ones being chased, not the chasers, that's another test that we have to pass. And he said, you know what, I'd much rather be in this position, obviously, than having to chase teams. He said, but it's been a test all season long, and so far we've gotten an A, guys.
Well, it's so much more fun to play in September when you got a chance to play for something. I mean, at this time, you got to think about 8 out of the last 9 years, or 8, I guess 7 out of the last 8 years, not including this year, there wasn't a whole lot to play for in September. 10, 12, 15 games out of first place, it's tough to, I mean, you still got to play out the season, don't get me wrong. You got to play the game for pride. But it's not the same when you're sitting here with the lead in the wild card and an opportunity to do something.
Dexter Fowler puts out his hand. 2 outs. And Jim Tracy, George, has to be elated so far with Aaron Cook. 14 outs recorded by Cook. 11 on the ground, 2 fly balls, and a punch out.
Now he's taking advantage. The Cardinals have gone after some pitches out of the zone, but that's to credit Cook because of the movement on his fastball. He's at 70 pitches. And I guarantee you he's going to go in the dugout. I'm good to go another. And that's what Tracy has to just look at it on the smart side of things and say, you know what, Aaron, you did what we wanted you to do. You're done for today. We'll see you in 5 days.
Schumacher is 1 for 2. They've gone to the 9th inning in Washington, 4-1 Atlanta. Windshield chipped or cracked, don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team. Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com.
Yeah, Atlanta goes on the road. They really have a pretty easy road because they go on the road for 3 games to Washington. Then they go home their last 7, 3 against the Florida Marlins, and then Washington back home again for 4.
But the Rockies have a 3.5-game lead. They control their own destiny. And I love what Jim Tracy said. We win a few ball games, we'll be where we want to be. He said if we don't get it done, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. Three and 2 on Schumacher. 29-year-old converted outfielder. They need a second baseman out of him, and it's worked out. For Aaron Cook, 5 shutout innings. If that's all, he made a statement tonight. 1-0 Rockies. Well, that's a good sign. Aaron Cook, I guess with Jim Tracy, he either is going to go up and bunt if Clint Barmas gets on, George, or he convinced Jim Tracy to go another inning.
Well, Contreras is getting loose out in the bullpen right now, and I think, you know, the comment was go up and get, you know, if we need a bunt, you're going to use you as a bunt.
He did shake a bunch of hands in the dugout after he came in, which is generally an indication your evening is done. 0-2 on Barmas. Barmas pops it up to shallow center field. Aaron Cook's going to go back underneath, and the Rockies will go to Eric Young Jr. Today's the last day to enter the Rocky Mountain Raffle Grand Prize drawing. Go to RockyMountainHomeRaffle.com. That's RockyMountainHomeRaffle.com. Sign up for your chance to win $1 million ski home, the Denver Loft, or $1 million in cash. It benefits the boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver. So Aaron Cook, George, through 76 pitches, you could not have asked for a better outing.
No
over
walks,
5 innings.
no walks, 1 strikeout, a lot of ground ball outs, just what you look from Aaron Cook.
12 ground balls with 15 outs. The education of Eric Young Jr. continues. He gets a curveball on the outside corner, 0-2. Kid, go pinch hit. Go get Chris Carpenter. Start a rally. But you know what? If you want to play every day at this level, you're going to have to go get some of these guys. Good eye.
Curveball down, and hey, Sunday is Frontier Airlines Fan Appreciation Day. The first 15,000 to the gates will receive a Frontier Airlines mystery promotional card. Yeah, that's right. It has a value on it between $10 and $500. Also throughout the game, fans will be randomly selected to win an additional $100 to $1,000 value toward a future flight. So make sure you get tickets to that ball game. That Fan Appreciation Day coming up very soon here at the Rockies ball game.
Ball 4. How about that? Carpenter gets ahead, 2 strikes on Young, and then walks him. That's 3 walks in the game by Chris Carpenter. And now Carpenter's got to deal a little speed at first base.
Now, by the way, that Fan Appreciation Day by Frontier Airlines, that's Sunday.
Well, the next pitch for Carpenter, George, will be his 70th. The Cardinals, it's a foregone conclusion, are going to win the Central Division.
Well, we're still playing for an awful lot because what they're trying to do is get home field advantage.
They are playing for an awful lot. They want home field advantage, as do the Los Angeles Dodgers, Philadelphia Phillies in the postseason. However, we pitch out. However, to what length do you go and do that? And my question for you, George, is with a Wainwright, with a Carpenter, you want them ready to go in the postseason. Do you have them go 120 pitches in pursuit of home field advantage?
No, I think you let them go 100, though, and I know this much. You're talking about 2 big horses that are used to going 200, 230 innings.
There he goes, and Molina's throw is on the bag, and he is out. Man, that kid can flat throw the baseball. And it's not just his arm, it's how quick he gets ready to baseball. That pop time, George, was probably sub 1.9.
Well, it's all about the reaction. Watch what he does behind the plate. To read, he's setting inside on the left-hander. The pitch is inside. He waited, caught the ball to see if it was going to be a strike or not, and then put the throw exactly on the money. It's all about starting the process, trusting the hand. He was on the way up. The ball was down, picked it, and threw it. Dave Duncan's a guy that once he finds a catcher and gets on the same wavelength as him, he's pretty excited about having that catcher.
Again, he's caught more innings than any other catcher in baseball. Second on the list, Russell Martin of L.A. 3-1 on Gonzalez, who has scored the only run of this game. Carlos Gonzalez playing left field tonight, wearing number 5. The guy who made that number a fan favorite is playing left field for the Cardinals, wearing 15. And this ball is in the air to Matt Holliday on cue. Gonzalez was saying before the ball game, he said, I don't want anybody ever to forget Matt Holliday and what he did here. He's a great player. In their lineup, our fun fact presented by Excel Energy, Battle of the Beers. These teams are equally good at home and on the road. The Rockies out on the road this year, 40-38. And the Cardinals 11 games over 500. In fact, the Cardinals are 16-5 over their last 21 away from Busch Stadium. And the matchup all time is very, very close. The Rockies have had a lot of success in St. Louis, and the Cardinals have had a fair share of success here in Denver. Energy Star Appliances can save you up to 30% or more on your energy costs. Find out how you can be a star at responsiblebynature.com. New pitcher is Jose Contreras. Brendan Ryan getting prepared to step in. Ryan, ground ball to third, and a single. One of 4 hits given up by Aaron Cook, who went 5 shutout innings. This call to the pen brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. This is the 3rd appearance in a Rockies uniform for Jose. Came over from the White Sox.
A big, strong right-hander. Obviously threw pretty hard when he signed. When he came from Cuba, 9.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. He will has a tendency to walk at times. He will put the ball in play.
And ground ball foul, 1-2. Contreras 1-0 with the Rockies, a 1.86 ERA. He's thrown 9 2/3 innings. Just allowed a couple of runs, 12 hits. He's walked 4, and he has struck out 10. strikeout to begin things here in the 6th inning. That'll work.
Put it right where he wanted to do it. Put it right on that outer half of the plate.
That'll bring up Albert Pujols. Here's the Duck with the Affleck trivia question again. Who are the 4 active National League shortstops to have 30-plus home runs in a season? One plays shortstop for the Colorado Rockies. He's named Troy Tulowitzki. Jimmy Rollins has done it. Hanley Ramirez has done it. Rich Aurelia back in 2001 hit 37 big flies. Pujols 1 for 2, and the fastball inside, ball 1 at 97 miles an hour. How about that? Our gun and the in-house gun had him at 97.
Fooled on that pitch. Away from him, a fastball. It says 96.
One and two.
Advantage for Contreras, to be honest. There's not a lot of history, I wouldn't think, between the batters on the Cardinal Ball Club and him. So it allows him to go with certain pitches maybe that they haven't seen, though that split finger that he presets in the glove.
Got him with a high heater, George, at 96. Contreras reached back into his youth in that at bat against Albert Pujols.
Boy, he really did. I mean, he was just able to take that fastball and go against Pujols and ride it up into the strike zone. Had no shot at it. On the Hyundai camp, Pujols pulled off that ball an awful lot. Look how he gets that front. Just kind of an unawkward swing, or an awkward swing, I should say, of Albert Pujols. By the way, Contreras and Pujols have never met. Matt Holliday's 1 for 8. Make it 2 for 9 against Mr. Contreras.
So a 2-out knock for Holliday. And that'll bring up Colby Rasmus. Nothing Colorado, top of the 6th inning. Rasmus a fly ball to left and a ground ball to second against Aaron Cook. Holliday, a situational base stealer this year as opposed to last year where he looked to run fairly frequently. Matt stole 28 bases for the Rockies last year. Holliday was 12 of 15 with the A's. 2 for 5 with St. Louis. By the way, Matt's combined batting average coming into the ball game was .312, 356 National League, 286 3 months in the American League. Well, he's got some hard sink, George, isn't he?
Well, it's because of where he puts the ball. I mean, it's kind of a low 3/4 delivery, and then as he rolls the wrist to the inside and just drives the baseball.
Torrealba sets up away, and it misses away. 1-2. The house is full. Rockies and Cardinals, game 1 of 3. Both teams on schedule to be in the postseason. That bounces up there, 2-2, and it could be, who knows, a preview of a postseason matchup, a divisional matchup. I was talking to Rick Ankiel about that before the ball game. He said, yeah, it's not just the fact that the Rockies swept us earlier in the year, 4 games. So we want to try to send a message in case we meet them in a week and a half. Swung on and missed. What an inning for Jose Contreras. Talk about Aaron Cook making a statement coming back. Contreras strikes out the side in the 6th, including the great Albert Pujols. Franchise record. Troy Tulowitzki hits his 23rd home run of the year, on his way to 24 in his rookie season. Happened in the 6th inning as the Rockies beat Los Angeles 9-7 in the 4th inning game of the wild card lead. And there it goes. Rockies would end up winning 11 straight before Arizona beat them on a Friday night here at Coors Field to clinch the division, and thus a celebration on the field. The Rockies do not want to see St. Louis have any kind of celebration this weekend at Coors Field. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dexter Fowler. And that was nasty, 1-2. Dexter, a sac bunt, and helped produce a 1st inning run, the only run of the game, and then a fly ball to left field.
Another curveball. See if he puts this in the strike zone. He hadn't been able to do it for the majority of the night. He didn't with that. That ball was up.
You know what? I don't think he wanted to put that one in the strike zone. I think he was trying to duplicate his previous pitch.
The previous pitch, hard slider at 88. That was a curveball at 74.
It's been a big inning for the Rockies this year. The 6th inning. Hammered their opponents in the 6th inning this year. 103-55. Two and two. Rockies have had some opportunities against Carpenter. Couple on in the 2nd, couple on in the 4th. 3 and 2. Another deep count. Carpenter's walked 3 in the ball game. So far, it's lived to tell about it. It was only 1, 2, 3 inning was the 3rd. And a ground ball toward the middle. Ryan will
smooth,
throw him out. He's very smooth. Time for tonight's Quest high-speed pitch. Carpenter's hit 96. Aaron Cook now out of the ball game, topped out at 93. Brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet. Helton, sac fly and a walk. Brendan Ryan out on the outfield grass again. I suppose it makes some sense, George. It gives you added range, and in the case of Helton, he doesn't run well, so.
Well, Ozzie did that all the time when he was on the turf. He would play out behind where the dirt would have been. There was a white line around the turf at that time, but he would stand and work outside of that.
Left field. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy's 1 for 2. Those are glowing numbers. 290 average, 30 home runs, 86 RBIs.
And everybody at the start of the season, what's wrong with Troy? Not hitting. Not and he had struggled in April. Man, he turned it around in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah, well, you understand it because the previous April he struggled also. And you never know, he may be one of those guys that develops a reputation as a slow starter and a great finisher.
He may have to go down to winter ball and get about 60 at bats in and then start the season. Come spring training and then start the season. Just kidding.
Another base hit for Tulowitzki. Well, that'll give Brad Hopp another opportunity.
First 2 at bats, he's really worked Hop inside, both with the slider and then worked the fastball away. On a sinker, starts it out with a slider there, stayed in the middle of the plate.
Brad was swinging the bat well when the Rockies played at Busch Stadium. He's in the middle of a 12-game hitting streak. One and 2 out front on a curveball. It is a final in Washington, 4-1 Atlanta. So right now the Braves within 3 games of the Rockies in the wild card chase. And a ground ball gloved by Pujols. And he'll go in the direction his momentum was taking him. He gets the force in second. Rockies done in the 6th. We turn the page to inning number 7, 1-0. first start in basically 5 weeks. He went 5 innings, a shutout baseball, allowed 4 hits. He got 12 ground ball outs. A little help from Ian Stewart there to rob Matt Holliday. Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The work this evening of Aaron Cook. Jose Contreras, his second inning. He struck out the side in the 6th inning. Ryan Ludwig, Mark DeRosa, and Yadier Molina. Pop foul out of play. This is going to tie up the baseball game. High fastball, Yadier Molina, Ryan Ludwig has hit his 21st of the year.
It may have been that cut fastball he uses. When he does that, it reduces the velocity down. But if you don't really finish that pitch, it has a tendency to stay out over the plate. Let's look at this on the Hyundai cam to see exactly where it was. Yeah, it looked like a spinning slider. See, that ball never had any breakdown to it where Torrialba was looking for this pitch to go. Kid got a lot of power, man. He is healthy and obviously swinging the bat very well. Here's the ground ball to Ian Stewart on the first to Todd Helton.
DeRosa retired, and that'll bring up Molina. Contreras still upset with the mistake he made. Ludwig makes him pay. 1-1 ball game in the 7th. Their lineup is similar to the Rockies, George, and that up and down their lineup, they have guys that can hit the ball over the wall. Ludwig out of the 6 hole. DeRosa, who just made an out, has more than 20 home runs if you combine his American League stats. Vargas. DeRosa out of the 7 hole. So Chris Carpenter will bat with 2 outs in a 1-1 game. The knees. 1-1. Carpenter takes a walk. I think he thought that was low. Must be a little strange for Matt Holliday to be standing in the visiting dugout here at Coors Field where he grew up. Tulowitzki circles. In the inning, a solo home run by Ryan Ludwig. And it is a 1-1 ball game. Stretch time at Coors Field. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Rockies won, Cardinals won. Rockies got their run in the first inning. Carlos Gonzalez doubled. Dexter Fowler moved into third with a sac bunt. Melton scored him with a sac fly. Yorvi Torrealba takes strike one on a slider. Ryan Ludwig in the top of the seventh hit a home run to left for the Cardinals. Torrealba a single and a walk. 92 pitches in for Carpenter. It's a good pitch to stay off of because it's unhittable. 2-1. This is what I was talking about earlier, George. 1-1 game with Carpenter. You figure no matter what transpires here, he's going to be over 100 pitches at the end of the inning. And I think ordinarily it's automatic that he's out in the eighth. With St. Louis poised to capture the division, and though they very much need to win games to try to secure home field advantage in the first couple of rounds, you may not see him in the eighth inning because they want a fresh arm come the postseason.
Well, the only thing I would counter that with, and the only reason I would say this, he's only thrown 180 innings on the year. All the other starters that have been around, because he had time off, almost 3.5 weeks off. Betancourt's getting loose down for the Rockies because Contreras, the fourth hitter in this inning. But, you know, he had time off, too. He missed a couple of starts.
Well, we'll find out. Hopefully the Rockies can knock him out.
Exactly.
Take all the mystery out of it. 3-2 on Torrealba, and Stewart is on deck. 6, 7, and 8 in the Rockies lineup, bottom of 7. Good ball game. And a bouncing ball up the middle. Ryan is playing the range. It helps out that he started on the grass, so it benefited him there. Today's E470 Road Ahead brought to you by E470 and Express Toll. Imagine that. The best way to save time and money. Cards over the weekend. Monday's a day off, and then the Brew Crew comes to town. They hammered the baseball a little bit tonight. They got another home run from Prince Fielder. Another home run from Mike Cameron.
Let's see how it operates against Stewart, because first at bat he had a couple of balls out over the middle of the plate, and he took the pitches and he drove that one to center field. Next time he came up, he tried to pound him in hard. First pitch, 89 fastball or 89 cutter on that inner half of the plate. See, a lot of times you call that pitch a slider, and really what it is, it's a cutter. And not only has Carpenter, Wainwright started to throw it, Franklin throws it a lot coming out of the bullpen. But they reduce a little velocity off the fastball, and they take it that way. But don't forget tomorrow's Rally Towel Day at the Ball Yard. It's coming in here at first 25,000 through the gates. They'll receive it. The Colorado Rockies Rally Towel. It's against the Cardinals. You can pick up your tickets at one of the ticket outlets, or go by ColoradoRockies.com and order it there.
Two outs, Clint Barmas at the plate. And Barmas drives to the center field, playable for Rasmus. 100 pitches on the nose for Carpenter as he works a 1-2-3-7. We'll go to the 8th. Tied at 1. Sixth inning, time for the Coors Light freeze cam. The return of Matt Holliday. I say sixth inning. We'll go back to the eighth inning. Miss you, Holliday, but we're going to the World Series without you. That was the Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam in the eighth inning tonight. Skip Schumacher is going to lead it off. New pitcher for the Rockies, Rafael Betancourt.
Well, the right-hander's got to come in. They know it's fastball slider. Probably one key, and I've heard their scouts say it, release time to the plate if a man happens to get on base. It can range between 1.6, 1.75, and for a team that's not a running team, don't be surprised if they don't start to try to put some people in motion at the top of this thing. Off of Betancourt. Fastball 90, 93 miles an hour. He'll work both sides of the plate with it. He will pound the strike zone. He's going to make it. He's going to put it in play to beat him.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800 Comcast. Chris Carpenter in the dugout with the jacket on. He looks like he's still working, George.
Yeah, he's gone upstairs, has he? He has 3 complete ball games this year. Three walks, that's well over his limit. I mean, 1.7 walks per 9 innings for him.
1-0 on Schumacher.
Yeah, mixed crowd here with the Cardinal crowd. A lot of people typically come here to the Denver area, particularly on a weekend series.
And a base hit. So the leadoff man, Schumacher, is aboard. That'll bring up Brendan Ryan. Now, this left-hander, Trevor Miller's been outstanding this year.
Situational guy, low 3/4. Throws all 3 pitches, fastball, slider, change.
You're going to play build to run here. Schumacher, not a base stealer. Ryan, you got to figure, is going to be looking to bunt a couple of times.
Starting to roll it, isn't it? Starting to roll that front shoulder is an indication of that. Typical throw over to first base. A lot of big league guys understand that. Obviously, Tony La Russa, the hitting coaches tell you, look, don't give away the bunt. If he throws to first, don't slide the hand up. Wait till he starts to pick the leg up. Let the hand slide square, because we want to keep in their ideas. Jose Oquendo, quick visit with Brendan Ryan at the plate, too. Remember first inning, hit and run with these guys. Short tapper to third. They were able to get Ryan at first, but it advanced Schumacher. And Tony does some unconventional things, but typically by the book. He's going to do what he can do to get Pujols a chance to win this game, along with Matt Holliday right behind him. See how late he committed on that? And he doesn't want to give any indication at all. They want to see, too, how the Rockies are going to play this. Is the open side of the field going to come on the right side? Is it going to come on the left side? That time, Helton came. He went here, here, and here. So basically, this whole left side was opened up over here, and then the right side there. You know, once Tony sees how you're going to try to play it, don't be surprised if he doesn't try to put on a hit and run or a slug bunt.
Brendan Ryan, 27-year-old shortstop for the Cardinals. Ryan got in 80 ball games last year with St. Louis at 244. 2-0. That's a scary moment when you square around.
I'm telling you, you got your head and everything right out there in the front side of this thing. He did get the bat back, but he barely got the rest of his body back. See how close that pitch came, and in the reaction time, obviously at the 88 to 90 mile an hour fastball.
Not a good enough lip reader, George. Not on that angle.
Barking at somebody, throwing the ball over the plate, do what you're talking about. I mean, trust me, right now, Bettencourt's not trying to hit him in the chest or the head. He's trying to get him a pitch to bunt.
3-0.
Do they not know the signs yet?
You know what? It's September 25th.
Well, wait. I know exactly why it is. I mean, if this is the team you're going to face in the playoffs, any situation like this, La Russa doesn't want anything given away. We have a scout here, Dave Holliday, sitting behind home plate. This is one of the things you're looking for. Try to pick the signs off of what a third base coach has. Well, he's ran down all 3 times now in between pitches.
This could be the take sign. It was the take sign, 3-1. I know he squared around, but he had no intention, George, of bunting that baseball there.
No, he didn't. He wanted to see if he could draw the walk out of it, put the pressure on the other side. See, here's Akinda again. He's come down, Jose has, to give the sign. You know, just kind of a quick sign running around. You got to kind of twirl around with him as he's going.
Pretty safe to say everything he just did there, completely bogus.
Yeah, and you know, there's a guy named Joe Nosick that used to work for the White Sox. They kept him around after he got out of uniform, sitting in the stands. He was the best sign stealer in baseball.
Ryan showed early, pulled it back. Albert Pujols is on deck. Sticky time for Jim Tracy and the Rockies. 1-1 game, nobody out. A leadoff base runner in Schumacher, who singled. He takes off, and the hit and run was on.
And Toriyama, boy, he took a pretty good shot there. That ball, when it was fouled, again, I mean, he took a really good shot. This hit and runs on. Look at him trying to angle the bat to get that thing out of there. Caught him right on the top of the mast, not on the faceplate, right on top of it. Look how he's got his hands inside the body, well out on that front foot, trying to inside out the baseball to the right side.
Three and 2 on Ryan. I bet Tony puts Schumacher in motion again.
Let's see what the Rockies try to do, if they go fastball or if they go slider down and away. Slider, you got to take that angle to right here. You don't want to start out here and go here, because he's not going to swing at it there.
He went with the fastball. He'll tee it up and do it again. 3 and 2. Ryan out of Lewis and Clark College in Lewiston, Idaho. Grew up in LA. This inning's been going on for 10 minutes. There have been 8 pitches. Schumacher goes. And it's fouled off again. If your windshield is hurting, call Elite Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or visit safelite.com. Got it. And Schumacher did not run. He spun one there, George.
Good slider. I mean, he got a lot of fastballs. That's exactly what they fed Ryan to start that thing out with. And then right on the last pitch, look what this slider is. Mentioned earlier, do not get it to the outer half of the plate, way away from him. He won't offer at it. But this had more of a downward move on it than it did on a ball moving away. Good pitch by Betancourt on a hard slider on his 8th pitch of that at bat.
And now here's Pujols. And again, one of the key ingredients in that strikeout is that Schumacher did not look to run.
Now Dexter Fowler had really shortened up in center field too. Bunt situations, then you're thinking about hit and run. Now he's moved back to a normal position in center to give him an opportunity to get into the gaps.
Albert takes a strike. Pujols grounded to second against Aaron Cook, lined a single to right against Cook, and then struck out on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball against Jose Contreras.
And he's never seen Betancourt in his career. Holiday one at bat, he's 0 for 1.
Again, Schumacher, not normally a big straight steal guy. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2.
High fastball, both of that he swung and missed at tonight. Pujols has all been up in the strike zone on the Hyundai cam. Check the location of this pitch. He's chased trying to get on top of that ball. That ball is by him before he can make contact with it. For Albert Pujols, you've seen him take some swings tonight at balls you normally would not see.
And I'll tell you the other unusual thing. He doesn't swing and miss much, period. He's done it a few times tonight. 0-2. Ground ball, deep, short, gets through. Boy, bad break there.
That ball appeared to be high, and almost like he chopped down on top of the baseball.
Pujols coming around first, a little bit, got gimpy.
Yeah. Going to squat down. I think he may have started at home plate too. See this pitch up high as he comes out of the plate about halfway down, and then all of a sudden he starts to sound like a cramp. Cramp more than anything else. That guy sitting in the background over there, Barry Weinberg, out to tend to him. He and Tony La Russa. Didn't put a lot of pressure on that leg at all, did he?
He's got to come out, doesn't he?
Well, Tony has something to do with it. Probably take him out of the ball game, but if he's not going to, I guess he's not. He's going to. Let me tell you, when you're Albert Pujols, you tell them, you know what? I'm all right to play.
He's got a rock in his shoe. He's smiling about it. I mean, George, he hobbled it all of a sudden going around first.
That little bitty sandbag put in his shoe before the game finally got him. I've been waiting on it to get him. It just took a long time.
I wish he got him so he stumbled and fell and
kind of throwing him out.
Throwing him out from left field.
Yeah, there you go.
2 on, 1 out. And here's Holiday. Couple of ground outs and a line drive base hit to right. Go ahead run at second base. Holiday scuffled for most of 2+ months in Oakland, and then he kind of caught fire his last 2.5 weeks in Oakland, moved the average up to 286, and then was moved to St. Louis for 3 prospects, Brett Wallace being the big name in the deal. 1-1. Brett Wallace, an outstanding hitting prospect, third baseman.
Well, the 2 areas you try to work Holiday, but here's the key to Holidays: you can't repeat. This is one area here. The other area, you can go out here in this box, but you can consistently try to work up above that area.
Ground ball to second. Is it hit hard enough for 2? There's 1. There's 2. Betancourt gets Holiday to ground into the 4-6-3. And we're tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th at Coors Field. That's some pitching right there. Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game. You just witnessed it. The double play ball off the bat of Matt Holliday and a great turn. Quick flip from Barmes. And then the good transition. Tulowitzki firing the 95-mile-an-hour heater to first. That's brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz. You must experience the amazing new E-Class. Well, Chris Carpenter walked out there. And then Tony La Russa, once Seth Smith was announced, brought on Trevor Miller. A little chess match. Carpenter went out there. Smith was announced. So LaRussa went and got the 35-year-old Trevor Miller. And this call to the bullpen brought to you by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST. So the Rockies burn Smith, and Spilborghs will pinch hit.
His first batter efficiency this year, 79% of the time. Huge difference, though. Left-handers 122, right-handers 304. He's given up 5 home runs, 4 of those against the right-handed bat.
9-1-2 for the Rockies. And Spilborghs is in a ditch 0-2. Yeah, there aren't a lot of surprises. I'm sure Jim Tracy had to figure that the risk would be, once Smith was announced, that LaRussa may very well go and get Carpenter, who was at 100 pitches.
Well, you know,
bring on the left-hander.
The other side of that is, I think you were going to see him anyway, because you got Gonzalez, you have Helton that's 4th up in the lineup, you have the right-handed switch hitter there. He gets the punch out at 88 miles an hour. Brian Spilborgh's on a ball up out of the strike zone.
1 out. Carlos Gonzalez coming up. Let's check in again with Alana.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. The Cardinals game just underway in San Francisco. A loss by the Cardinals, or loss by the Cubs, excuse me, a win by the Cardinals here tonight, and the Cardinals would clinch the division. I talked to the team earlier today about the fact that, remembering back in 2007 when Arizona clinched on their home field, Clint Barma said we absolutely don't want that, especially how well we've been playing at home. We don't want anyone celebrating on our field. We want to be the ones doing the celebrating, guys.
Yeah, Lana, I mean, the magic number is 1. So if the Rockies can win and the Cubs lose, they can celebrate, but it'll be inside the clubhouse. Just don't want it happening out on your diamond. Inside, 2-0 on Gonzalez. 1 out, bottom of 8, tied at 1. Splendidly pitched baseball game. Rockies' run came in the first. Ludwig a home run in the 7th. 3-0.
Well, this is the one thing that Miller does do. This is his 8th ball club to be with in his big league career. Just make it correct, that 7th ball club. But has always been more of a situational left-handed guy. Just very rarely does he walk anybody. That ball seemed to be a little bit farther out and a little bit lower than the previous pitch that was called a ball.
Yeah, Mike Winters watched as Carlos Gonzalez tossed the bat aside. I agree with you, George. I thought the 2-0 pitch was better than the 3-0.
Yeah, and let's watch how it's received and pulled up. That wasn't even close.
That wasn't close.
Nope. Just changes the hold at bat. That's kind of the problem with it.
Gonzalez regathers his thoughts. 3-2 count. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, the one that really set that one up was the 3-0 fastball, and then he comes right back with it again. And you know, that last fastball, 87, and it was in the same location as the other two.
All I'll say is you got called out on Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday also, because I think this has everything to do with stature in the game. That is low.
Yep,
that's
you better believe.
Let's
going to tell you right here where the pitch was. Did it catch the plate? Or was it off the plate?
I caught the plate, George.
I think it's a little off, and it was low. You just don't see low strikes called like that anymore.
Oh, 0-1 on Dexter Fowler. Ground ball deep in the hole. Ryan on the move. Not going to get. Oh, that's awful. That's bad also. Dan Iasagna calls out Fowler. You got to be kidding me. Colorado's crossover and SUV headquarters on Colorado Boulevard for 50 years. Visit MikeShawAuto.com. By Tough Shed, storage, buildings, and garages. Call 1-800-BY-TOUGH or visit them online at toughshed.com. By Dex, take the sport out of finding local information with Dex. Find what you need when you need it and printing online at DexKnows.com. And by the Colorado Lottery. Don't forget to play. Ninth inning at Coors Field. Rockies won, Cardinals won. Houston Street is on board now. As you see, Dexter Fowler still perturbed at that missed call at first base. But you move on. Colby Rasmus, Ryan Ludwig, and Mark DeRosa will be up. One more look. On the bag, ball still in the air.
Yep. Sagna missed that play. There's one more to look at it. You can see foot on the bag, ball not there yet, and it's a very obvious. You just don't see it back to back like this often. This is the best look of all of them. Look how far the ball is away from him. That's almost 2 feet from the bag.
I mean, that's close to a full stride. And the umpiring in Major League Baseball is outstanding. They're going to miss some. Unfortunately, it happened there.
Back to back, though. I mean, the pitches to Gonzalez and then this. I mean, it was a back to back type effect to it.
Yeah, Houston Street try to throw up another 0 and get the Rockies back to the bat rack, where they'll have 3, 4, and 5 in the 9th inning. Rasmus is 0 for 3. Houston Street, his 3rd appearance since being down for more than 3 weeks, and he's been outstanding. Yesterday, he pitched his first full inning, and he struck out the side. Good pitch.
Well, there's a low strike call, too. If you're going to go both ways, go with it. You don't have a problem with it as a pitcher or as a manager. If it's ran both sides, that time it was.
Got him on a hard slider.
Well, let's take a look at this hard slider from Houston Street. Appears to be right out into the middle of the plate, and it does the Houdini act and disappears.
Ryan Ludwig, the reason that it's a 1-1 game. You got a pitch up in the zone in the 7th inning against Jose Contreras and hit it over the wall and left. 21 home runs and a ground ball to deep short.
This has been a play of shortstops tonight. Their young shortstop has made some very nice plays in Ryan, and the Rockies go right with it. Sagna gets this one right, and he's out at first.
One of the keys, I think, George, when you watch Tulowitzki make that play, and we've seen him do it, it seems like 1,000 times since he came up. He keeps his body compact and low, and his throwing motion, you always talk about repeating the delivery for a pitcher. He's able to repeat it, and he hits Helton in the chest 9 times out of 10.
There's a reason for all of that. He practices extremely hard since the college days of, you know, when it comes to break down a guy for a draft. Okay, he's a shortstop. What's his arm like? Can he run? Does he have range, field, hit, and all those things? And in order to get yourself high up on the list on all of those things, you practice them. And that's something that he did at Long Beach State, carried it over into minor leagues through Tulsa and up to here to the big leagues.
2-0 on DeRosa.
Still to this day, he has Richie Dower and the skipper, Jim Tracy, hit an awful lot of ground balls to him in batting practice to continue to perfect his perfection. And it's a lot of fun to watch. He and Clint Parmas turn about 20, 25 double plays a day.
2-1. He got the corner.
Looked like Rembrandt.
DeRosa, another one of those guys down in the order you have to be careful with. 13 home runs with Cleveland, 10 with St. Louis, and a hard shot to help. Another terrific inning for Houston Street. We will go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies looking for just one. College football Saturday. Southern Miss will travel to Lawrence to take on 20th ranked Kansas. Then the UTEP Miners will be looking for an upset in Austin against the second ranked Longhorns. And the day concludes with a Pac-10 showdown between Southern Cal and Washington State. USC trying to bounce back after losing to Washington last week. It all starts tomorrow, 10 a.m. on FSN Rocky Mountain. Charlie Montfort sitting next to his brother Dick, hoping for just a little rally in the bottom of the ninth. The Rockies and Cardinals tied at 1. Trevor Miller stays aboard. 2 of the 3 hitters due up for the Rockies left-handed. Here we go with Todd Helton. And the slider misses ball 1. It's Helton, Tulowitzki, and Hop. Miller worked a 1-2-3-8. Including a couple of strikeouts. A few times, George, you will see a pitch not really well received by Yadier Molina.
Yeah, it ran on him pretty good there. That's exactly what he tried to do, just fight it off.
You know, Mike Winters, I will say this. I think a couple of pitches have been south of the knees, but he is calling everything down.
He has called every pitch down. You don't have a problem with that consistency. Just don't give you any surprises.
That was inside, 3-1, no swing. They check it out with Sam Holbrook. All right, I got a couple of for instances, George.
Go right ahead.
Helton gets on, you run for him?
Well, you almost have to, but you got to look at who you have for speed. McCoy's about the only guy left on the bench that you could run out to pinch run for him. Depends on what you're going to do with Giambi.
Well, we'll find out. And also, if you keep Miller out there, Brad Hop, who's been slumping, you have him hit. There's McCoy. He's got the hat on, and no move yet. You're going to have a double switch. That's why, George, for me, the National League has it over the American League by leaps and bounds because of the chess match that takes place late in ball games.
It is a lot of fun. McClellan's coming in, the right-hander. He's going to come on to face Mr. Tulowitzki.
Leadoff man on, 1-1 in the bottom of the ninth. Back in a moment. The place to go the following day, Taco Bell in the state of Colorado. Get 4 tacos for $1. Double switch. Colby Rasmus comes out. Schumacher, who's playing second, originally a center fielder, he's out in center field right now. And Julio Lugo comes into the ball game, and the first pitch from Kyle McClellan is inside, ball 1 on Troy Tulowitzki. The sellout crowd of 48,847. busting at its seams. Fifth sellout of the year. For the moment, it is McCoy now in the ballgame. McCoy has come on to pinch run. And the crowd would like nothing more. Well, to be honest, they'd like nothing more than a walk-off home run. But one in the gap would work well, too.
They take advantage of that speed. He had over 40 stolen bases at the AAA level. Don't look for him to steal a base, but look for him to go first to third.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be running.
McClellan with a good hard sinker, good slider to go with it. 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. For Tulowitzki in this ball game against McClellan in his career, he's 0 for 2.
Ground ball to short. Ryan bobbles it. We got the out at second.
Well, McClellan's that 8th inning guy now into the 9th inning with his club tied, so they're not going to get a lefty for that. Off the heel of the glove, bounce, stayed with it. Snap throw. This kid got a good arm underhanded. I'm going to tell you, watch the exchange right here. This kid, I'm going to tell you what, his hands are quick, and he's got a very good arm to go with it.
Has been called back. We were talking about this, George, during the commercial break. That you may see Giambi bat for high. We think it could be a right-handed bat if Miller was still out there, or it could be Giambi. It will be Giambi. And I tell you what, it is gut-wrenching for Jim Tracy to do this, to pull his all-star back. McGrath not swinging the bat well, and Jason Giambi is.
The two of these guys have never faced each other. Giambi pinch hit a couple of nights ago, punched out on fastballs down and away from a right-hander.
Down low, ball one. The only remaining outfielder for the Rockies is Matt Merton. If it goes up, Williams just throwing the gap in left center field. Tulowitzki's going to get to third. The winning run 90 feet away. Giambi has come through again.
Huge base hit. This guy can flat swing the bat on a ball down and away from him. He didn't try to do anything special. He just tried to make solid contact. Watch this sinker down and away as it started to work. Good pitch by McClellan. Just a better job of hitting by Giambi. Slices this ball out into left center field. Schumacher just went into the ball game, got over to it, but his arm's not going to be strong enough. Tulowitzki on the move with the swing of the bat.
Now let's see how Tony
made that move.
Yeah, let's see how Tony handles this, because you got to pull the outfield in with one out. You load him up, George?
Well, I think that's what Tony's talking about right now with McClellan. You know, just pull it tight on the corners. Let's go ahead and pitch to him. Torrealba's up, but it's just big hit after big hit. You got a hard sinker ball guy on the mound that's going to work the ball down in the zone. You got to try to turn two because it's set perfect for you if you can get the ball on the ground and hit at somebody. The difference is, the big difference is what this guy coming to the plate, talking about Torrealba, what he has done. Jim Tracy's talking to him now more about encouragement. You know, some guys would be thinking, oh, is he telling him to squeeze here? Let him swing the bat. There's one out, pop fly. They're just trying to set everything up defensively because you got Ian Stewart right behind him, a left-handed bat. So I can't see walking the bases full when you have right on right. Torrealba's going to get a shot, I think, to try to win this game.
Yeah, Yorvi Torrealba, along with Troy Tulowitzki, have been the biggest offensive threats for the Rockies in the month of September. And Torrealba, 17 for his last 27 with runners in scoring position, will get a shot to win it.
Halfway on their infield.
He's shortened up.
Starting to show up on more of a safety squeeze than anything.
Yeah, absolutely, because Tulowitzki was not moving.
But their infield set halfway.
They're going to try to turn it up the middle.
Well, no, they're pretty close in, too. They get a shot hit right at him. If he's going on contact, you see how close Lugo is to the bag. So if it's hit right at the shortstop, Ryan, yeah, then they may try to turn it. And if they see Tulowitzki go, they may not try to turn it. I mean, it's an iffy situation. I mean, it's a little bit unusual watching Joe Patina. He's their dugout coach, bench coach, kind of running the defense for Tony La Russa. He always has.
Outfield's pulled in. 1 out, a 2-strike count on Torrealba. In the air, deep right field. This will win it. Here's Tulowitzki. The throw. Not in time. Rockies win it 2-1. Torrealba comes through. What a victory for Colorado. What a ball game. You think it's late September, and look at the reaction on the field.
How many times is Torrealba going to come through? Man, oh man, coming through with big hits.
Behind in the count, 2 strikes. Giambi, the latest addition, does it again. And Torrealba, in some circles, the forgotten man for most of the season. He wins it in the bottom of the 9th on an evening when Chris Carpenter towed the rubber for St. Louis.
Man, he battled his way as Aaron Cook did also through his 5 innings. One mistake made the whole ball game by the Rockies pitching staff. A hanging slider, all that forgotten now. With the sacrifice fly to right, the moves made by, think of this, Jim Tracy sending Giambi up. The guts it took to do that, to take his all-star right fielder out and allow Giambi to go hit and come through with this huge base hit.
Amazing stuff. Time for tonight's Land Rover Extraordinary Play. A couple of choices. We're going to one that set the table. Jason Giambi, a single that got Tulowitzki from first to third. That's brought to you by Land Rover, designed for the extraordinary. Man, that's as good as it gets. The Rockies win it in the bottom of the 9th, 2-1. And the Atlanta Braves, who won in D.C. tonight 4-1, still 3.5 games back in the wild card. The Rockies post-game report is next. Stick around.